If you're looking to learn how to do a press up because you can't do one yet, if you're maybe doing press ups already but you find after a couple of reps you get very uncomfortable, it gets uncomfortably tight around the shoulder pec area, if you feel like your shoulder's about to rip out of its socket, any of them reasons, this video is for you. So please do me a favor, watch to the end and drop me a like at any stage if this video provides you any help or value. More importantly, drop me a comment below, let me know how you get on, let me know what your issues were, and let me know if I've somehow helped you in some way. Hi, how's it going? I'm Tommy and welcome to my channel, Gym Life, where we basically talk about the gym, training, life and everything in between. As any of you guys know who are training already, the gym and training does become a part of your life. I'm in full support of that, and that's what this channel is all about. Right, with all that out of the way, don't forget to hit subscribe, and let's get on to today's video. The biggest misconception when it comes to press ups is that you're using and building your chest, right? Now I'm going to explain to you in a second why that's not the case, but for you guys who are attempting press ups in a minute, if your main thought process is to, on the eccentric, on the down part of the movement, is to stretch the chest and then push the chest, well then I'm going to tell you immediately that's why you are getting pains or risking injury when it comes to one of the weakest insertion points in the body, which is the tie-in between the chest and the shoulder, right? So what I mean by that is then, as you come down, if you're thinking about contracting your chest and opening up your chest, you're putting a lot of pressure, a lot of strain on this part of the chest, the tie-in with the chest and the shoulder. That means when you put a lot of pressure to push that movement, the pressure's here rather than where it should be. And what I mean by that, the biggest muscle group that's used during a press up to properly do a press up safely is actually your back. And I'm going to show you how. Now during this video, what I'm going to get you to do, if you're sitting there watching it either on TV or on your phone, more than likely on your phone, then I'm going to get you at some stage to pause and literally do what I'm doing, mirror what I'm doing, so you can feel the sensation that you should be feeling when you're trying to complete a press up. The first thing I want you to do is you can look in a mirror if you want. I've obviously got my reflection on my phone at the minute or a camera, but what I want you to do is to stand upright, put your hands out as if you're about to press off the floor, but put them at about shoulder height or slightly below that. And again, when it comes to width, you're talking about, if you imagine me put my hand just outside my shoulder and then my hand out again, you want to have your hands about 2 hands width from your shoulder. You don't want to have them directly underneath, because when you're completing that movement, you're being too tight and now you're hitting a lot more triceps. I want you to be completing your standard press up, okay? So hands about 2 hands width from your shoulders. What you do is keep your arms straight, and I want you to feel and envision your shoulder blades, which are obviously back here. I want you to contract them. Imagine you're getting your 2 shoulder blades to try and touch each other. In doing that, this happens. Your arms, keeping them straight, will pull back, and then as you spread your lats or you push your shoulder blades away or apart from each other, that happens. Can you see how it's just the back then that is actually controlling this movement? From there, I want you to pull the back in, and as the arms come in, I want you to continuously feel as if all your back is starting to bunch up behind you. Bunching up, bunching up, bunching up. Your back is now tight when you're at the full range of motion. When you imagine then, obviously if we're on the floor, your hands, your face is almost touching the floor, but your back is nice and tight and contracted in behind you. Then what I'm going to get you to do from there is, you're going to squeeze your back and then your triceps to complete the movement. So if you imagine then, as you're loading, your tricep is pulling and almost resting on the lat, which is on your back, which is pulling you into line, and then you're pushing out. So your back takes the force first, and then your tricep helps you complete the movement. So now you've got an idea of how the movement started and how it's kept in line, because again, it's to do with consistency. If you are doing reps, you want to make sure that each rep is in line, each rep safe, because the most common fault, again, I apologize if this video is slightly all over the place, but I'm going to give you the fundamentals here and the stuff that you need to know that most people don't teach you. When you're trying to do a press up, the most common fault is that people will tend to keep their elbows high, and it means that they're putting a lot of pressure on that tie-in that we spoke about earlier, between the chest and the shoulder. So when they go to push, it's actually the shoulder that takes the main strain, and then it can result in either, I've seen torn pecs in the past as a result of press ups being performed incorrectly, or you can have a lot of people that get a lot of shoulder injuries where it tightens up there because under a lot of pressure, and at some point then something's going to give, or you get a lot of rotator cuff injuries. So if that sounds familiar to you, chances are then you're using a lot of arms in your movement, you're coming too high, and you're not actually using your back to contract the muscles and keep you in a much safer position. With that in mind then, we're going to talk about actual position itself, or hand position. So although I've got you quite high at the start, what you will find, and I'm going to use this band to sort of demonstrate the lines we're taking here. If you don't have bands at home, if you're watching at home, even grab a small towel, just stretch it out, just to give you an idea of what you're doing. And it's all about getting feel and stuff at the start, and then once you start doing the movement, take that feel. If you're on the floor, take that feel to the floor and just do the same movements using the same muscles and start to build and work on that, okay? So what I want you to do is hands that same sort of just about 2 hands width from shoulders again. So I'm now going to pull in with my lats, pull in, bunch up the back as much as I can, and then there will be so obviously some give then with the arms, and you're trying to bring your arms in to where they're basically coming across. Well, it's coming across my chest, it's coming across where this word's at the minute, but you get the idea. It's going to be slightly lower than what most people think, because one of the biggest faults when it comes to press ups is that people are quite high. So when you're tucking in the back, you'll tend to then come across, the pressure now will be coming across this part of the chest, okay? And then to complete the movement, as I said before, push the back, it's almost like the back is pushing your tricep back up, and then your tricep then is completing the movement. To complete the movement of the press up then, the last thing you want to do is get into position, and it's how to control the rest of your body throughout that movement, okay? So I'm going to show you again here standing up, and then I'm going to show you the full process on the floor. So again, it's something you can take with you and work on either at home or the next time you're in the gym, okay? So what I'm going to do is, once I get into my position, again, hands in that approximately 2 shoulder width, or 2 hands widths from your shoulder. So you'll imagine you put your hands straight out, that's below your shoulder, 2 hands out from that, and do that side. That's pretty much a neutral press up position there. And then from that, I'm going to be contracting and pulling that scapula, pulling my shoulder blades in close together. And as I continue that movement, I'm going to bunch in as much of my back, my upper back behind me as I can. And then it creates that spring effect as well. So when you go to push, you're pushing your back against your triceps to complete the lockout, okay? Then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to take position. And when I'm lying on the floor in that position, what I want to do is either on the way down or just before you begin your way down, is we're talking about that brace thing again, which I'm talking about it again, because I cover it in a couple of my other videos. It's extremely important, but it will help you throughout the movement. So what you're going to do is either just before you start the movement or during that negative part of the press up, as you go down closer to the floor, I want you to pull in a lot of air and fill up you're filling up your gut. Like I said before, imagine there's a tank in this area here. You're filling up with air, and then as you push, you're trapping that air that's going to be pushing the sidewalls of your front and your back, and that's going to help you complete much smoother movement, much more powerful movement, and it's going to help you keep your body rigid. Yeah, with all that being said, and I bet you didn't realize there's that much to a press up, let me actually show you what we're going to be doing. Okay, now that we've got all the theory out of the way, let's actually put it into practice. I'm going to show you a press up here and just talk you through then my thought process, what I'm doing, and then it's hopefully something you guys can do either just after this video, next time in the gym, later on before you go to bed, whatever. Put it into practice and give it a go yourselves, okay? So, as we spoke of before, I'm going to get my hands into position first, and you're just talking approximately, hopefully you can see me there, okay? I am about 2 hands width out from each side of my shoulders, and then locking myself into position. I'm then pulling air in to brace the core. I'm now initiating the movement then with my upper back, my shoulder blades, tucking them in, and then I'm bunched up as much of my back as I can behind me. I can feel my triceps are almost sitting now on my lats. I am squeezing my lats on the way up, keeping that a slight tightness in the core, pushing my lats and completing the movement with the tricep. Now, Obviously, you'll do that a bit easier than me because you'll not be trying to talk throughout your movement. But hopefully now you get a much better understanding of the feelings that you should have, the thought process, and the feelings you should have to complete a press up. And for you guys who are already doing press ups, hopefully you can now make a couple of amendments so you can now safer do the movement, and then you can start doing maybe more difficult variations as you go along. Now if you're thinking to yourself, like, hold on a minute, Tommy, look, I appreciate you're a bit of a gym guru and that's a bit amazing and stuff, and thank you for the amazing advice, blah blah blah. Yeah, totally get it. But yeah, I'm nowhere near doing a press up yet. I am nowhere near that level, or you just don't have the confidence yet. Don't worry, I've got you covered. So here's a couple of different variations I would advise you guys do first to build yourself up to completing your first press up.
So first off is the wall press up, making sure we practice the form that we discussed earlier in the video. Tracking the back, pushing the back and then the triceps. Then there's the incline press up. We'll use something higher up, slightly lower than what we were doing with the wall. And then as we get better, more confident and stronger, then we gradually make that movement harder as we carry along. Obviously not ideal with that bench because your hands are quite close, but get it. Third up then is the knee press up, where we maintain on our knees rather than going fully rigid and locking the whole body out straight. Stay on our knees, taking some of the weight off our chest and our arms, but then completing the movement as discussed earlier, contract in the back, full range of movement, leave the back and the triceps to lock out. And then the hardest of the four, just before we go on to then completing our first full press up, is the negative press up, where you take your full position like a standard press up. We slowly make our way down to the bottom, complete, reset, and go again. So you're focusing on strengthening the negative part of the press up, with the aim then of getting confidence in the strength up to then complete the movement and complete that full press up. And there we have it. That's my guide to complete your first press up. Advice how then to build up and work your way to your first press up, and more importantly how to perform the press up safely so you can repeat the process and get safely stronger at the movement. Until the next one, thanks for watching, take care of yourselves, enjoy your training, and bye for now.